Luke Grimes on Eddington, flexing his comedy chops and his Yellowstone future. The actor plays the funniest character in Ari Aster's divisive new film about the COVID-19 pandemic. For a film about an isolated, southern town that's struggling through the COVID-19 pandemic, Ari Aster's Eddington is shockingly funny. Even more surprising, the typically stoic Luke Grimes is the most hilarious actor in the movie. The 41-year-old Yellowstone star plays Guy, a police officer in Eddington under Sheriff Joe Cross, Joaquin Phoenix, and an impromptu campaign manager once Cross decides to run for mayor. He helps come up with campaign slogans including, "Let's free each other's hearts," and then scrambles to outfit himself in riot gear from head to toe the second he hears about protests brewing. He's both comically unprepared and unqualified for this moment in America, much the opposite of what fans have been accustomed to seeing from Grimes as livestock officer Case Dutton in Yellowstone. Even so, it's a welcome change of pace. He's a guy who clearly is just afraid and trying to point the finger anywhere, Grimes tells me over Zoom. It didn't read that way in the script originally, but we worked on it, and he became more of a bumbling fool than a hateful person. That was our way into it, just a guy trying to figure it all out and failing miserably. Eddington hits theaters this Friday, July 18th. After that, Grimes is set to return to the world of Yellowstone for a solo spin-off series on CBS titled Why? Marshals. The new show will see Grimes leading a team of U.S. Marshals following the sale of his family's ranch in the Yellowstone finale. There are going to be some familiar faces, but we're not shooting here in Montana, Grimes says. Everything else is going to feel like a different world. Unlike Eddington's officer Guy, something tells me Case will be ready for it. Below, Grimes shares more about working with Aster, holding off on watching Yellowstone until the series ended, and the aftermath of our last interview, when he was honest about his relationship with Kevin Costner. Luke Grimes, I was one of those lucky ones. It was actually a great time. I had just gotten married and we moved to Austin, Texas. When it first hit, obviously, I was afraid just like everyone else. The big bad wolf was coming to get us. We had no idea what was going on. The grocery stores were empty. We were like, how long is this going to last? My wife and I bought an Airstream to start traveling around. Not to gloat, but it was really fun because we had nowhere to be. The phone wasn't ringing, and I was able to just go and camp for as long as I wanted to, which was the ultimate dream trip. How do you think people will react to this film? We all knew it was going to be divisive from the get-go. If you're an extremist in any way, if you have chosen to go very far down one path or the other, you're going to be offended no matter which team you've chosen. What the movie's trying to say is that there are these corners that we've put ourselves in, and we've sort of stopped engaging with each other. There's this team mentality where these are my people, and I hate everyone else. So I feel like if you feel yourself being offended, then maybe there are some deeper questions you need to ask yourself. Especially your character. He's probably the most unprepared guy on screen. Yeah, Ari sort of leaves himself alone when he writes, and he writes things that maybe he doesn't fully understand all the time. Obviously, he's a brilliant filmmaker. He's one of those guys that storyboards and edits in his head as he's making the film. It's really incredible to watch. But with the characters, he's really open to interpretation. Not everything is so cut and dry. I remember I was asking him at first, "What is your vision for Guy? Is he just kind of a shitty person?" And he said, "Let's not reduce it too much. Let's not figure it out right now. Let's figure it out over the course of making this movie." And he was right. It ended up being a lot more interesting and a lot different than I would have approached it had I just sat down and sorted it out real quick. I was telling Ari that usually I've chosen characters based off whether there's something in the character that I like. But with this character, there really wasn't. I chose him solely off the fact that I wanted to work with Ari as I had for this, and working with Joaquin as well was a dream come true. Joaquin has made an entire career off playing those types of characters, so it's great to have him around as a high watermark of how good you can get at playing people you don't necessarily like. Next up for you is Why? Marshals. I'd love to know what pulled you back into Yellowstone for a spin-off. Honestly, I did not think I was going to do it. They started flirting with the idea of doing a Case spin-off, and I was like, I don't know, guys. I thought it ended really well for him. We really took him through a full arc. He got what he wanted and went through hell to get it. So let's just let him be, personally. I remember saying I didn't know if it would make any sense. Then there were a lot of ideas getting thrown around, and at some point I heard a really good idea, and that was kind of it. I thought, actually, that opens up the world for him. And putting the hat and jacket back on isn't all that bad. I really liked playing that character. It was the most fulfilling job I've ever had in my life, so I'm happy not to say goodbye to him fully. When we talked in December, that thinking of I don't know if it would make any sense is basically what you told me. But I had a sneaking suspicion that for anyone who sticks with a character that long, it's not always easy to just put them down and walk away. No, it's not. And a lot of times it's not just because of the character, but the family you've built. I see Kelsey, Ashbile, from time to time. Obviously, we live really far apart. I live in Montana, and she lives in New York. But we became so close over the years, so I'll see her whenever I'm in New York. I keep in touch with a lot of crew. We all got along really well. Kelly Riley lives in England. That makes that kind of difficult. But I would always welcome the chance to go to lunch or get a drink with any of that cast. Hey friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Got a question, opinion, or suggestion? Drop a comment below. I read all of them, and I often feature interesting ones in my next videos. And most importantly, for more exclusive boxing highlights and celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us grow and keep bringing you awesome content. See you in the next video. Stay safe and take care.